just because I'm too beautiful. My fiancé was afraid people would say he was only after my looks. On our wedding day, he intentionally left me waiting outside the Marquise's mansion to show that he didn't care about mere beauty. What's worse is, he even took his virtuous, well-bred cousin inside to perform the wedding ceremony first. Can anyone put up with this? I demanded to call off the engagement on the spot. The little tyrant, Buqi, happened to be passing by. He wasn't afraid of being called shallow or lustful, so he just swooped in and snatched me away. This is definitely the biggest scandal in the Great Yi dynasty this year. The young lord married 2 women at once, yet he has left Miss Ju waiting outside for 2 hours. My information is absolutely reliable. Prince Yun said Miss Bai is as elegant and detached as a chrysanthemum, and that he values virtue more, which is why they performed the ceremony first. I think he is just afraid of being called a lecher. Isn't it obvious he is bullying the Ju family because they have no one to stand up for them in this high-profile marriage? I've transmigrated. The original owner of this body was actually angered to death. Oh, my dear young mistress, why did you take off your bridal veil yourself? Go back inside quickly. Miss, do you need help? We can rush in there and wreck their wedding hall. Miss, you're going the wrong way. The Marquise's mansion is over there. Where are you going? I'm going to beat the imperial drum to file a petition. The current emperor loves his people like his own children, and I am in a way like his own daughter. He will surely step in and stand up for me. That is why I'm going to beat the drum to file a royal complaint. You can't do that, miss. Anyon who beats the imperial drum gets 30 lashes. A full 30 lashes. That is right. That is right. With just one strike, the blood sprays 2 feet high. Tell me, aren't you afraid? With one strike, blood sprays 2 feet high. 1 strike, 2 feet. 2 strikes, 4 feet. 30 lashes. Oh my, it sprays that high. Sister, what are you doing? For us women, the most important thing is not to fight or compete. You have only had to wait for a little while, and you are actually going to strike the imperial drum. Are you not trying to make things difficult for your husband? Yanner is right. You are now a wife of the Yun family, and you should care more about the Yun family's reputation. Do not cause any more trouble. Come now, go in with me and finish the wedding ceremony. Forget about the ceremony. I am still going to strike the imperial drum. I'll put on a little blood fireworks show for everyone to see. Just now, there was a small matter at home. A trellis fell over, and I couldn't attend to you for a moment. It has already been taken care of. Sister, a woman should be chaste, quiet, and virtuous. I want a divorce, and I want half of the Marquise's estate as compensation. Otherwise, I am going to strike the imperial drum and file a petition with the emperor. Half of the Marquise's estate. Are you insane? Or is there something wrong with my hearing? Ju Yue, are you defying me? Oh, 2 feet, 4 feet, 6 feet. I'm coming. If you have the guts, break my legs right here and now. Otherwise, I am definitely striking that drum. Yo, whose bridal sedan chair is this? It looks quite nice. Are you not using it anymore? In that case, I'll be taking it. Bailu, get up. Marquis Yun, being greedy and hoarding everything isn't a good habit. You have 2 wives. Yet I have none. Why not? Share one with me. What? You left the sedan chair and the bride outside for 2 hours. That clearly means you don't want her. What is wrong with me picking up what you've discarded? Right, nothing wrong with that. If such a large piece of gold were lying out here, the marquis would have surely snatched it up by now. Simone, go drag Clerk Wang here. Have him write up the divorce papers on the spot, and write the marriage contract on the spot. I am getting married today. Your Grace, what are your orders? I am at your service. We cannot afford to provoke this young master. Princess Su has been worrying that he wouldn't marry. Now that he's snatched a bride, the princess will probably want to thank the Lu family's ancestors for 18 generations. Ju Yue, go inform my mother that I've snatched a daughter-in-law for her. We're going to parade through the streets now. Tell mother to prepare for the wedding during this time. We will bow to heaven and earth as soon as we return. Tell mother not to worry. But it must be quick. Yes, the young prince has been possessed by a god of joy. The groom has been changed just like that. I will listen to whatever you say, Your Grace. If this is done well, the wedding tip will be tripled. In that case, young Prince Lu, I will arrange the band and the honor guard for you as well. Aren't they already here? Hasn't the wedding at the Marquis of Yunyang's estate already concluded? Lend them to me for a while. Your Grace, I've written it. Please take a look. My nemesis just got snatched away. What about the lifelong rival I had in mind? This is a private matter for my Yun family, so I ask that you show some restraint, young Prince Lu. Do not make a mockery of my house. Get this straight, Yun Feiyang. You were the one who made a mockery of your own family first. If it weren't for Yue Niang being here, your Yun family wouldn't even be qualified for me to make a mockery of you. The gap in our strength is too great. I am full of hatred. I want to file a petition with the emperor, but I can only dream of it. Your Grace, please think twice. Sign it. Don't worry, although the wedding is a bit rushed. Nothing that should be there will be missing. I won't let you be without status or legitimacy. Don't be so anxious yet. Trust me, I am not like those pedantic, sour people who act all high and mighty while being hypocritical. I am not afraid of being called a lecher. So what if I am? Everyone appreciates beauty. You are beautiful. I like you, and only you are worthy of me. We shall marry honorably as husband and wife. I will not let you be disparaged by anyone. What I mean is, don't be in a rush. The Yun family still owes me half of their family assets. I knew men couldn't be trusted. We've barely married and you've already cost me half my assets. I'll make it up to you later. What are you standing there for? Get to work. Lift the sedan chair. Let's head to the street. Got it, let's go. Let me take a step. Oh, this idea. Haha, husband. I'll come help too. Follow me, be careful. Is this really okay? What is wrong with it? It's not like we didn't pay the gift money. What are you afraid of? Wait a minute, turn back. Turn back. Oh, it is a pity. If Yun had bowed with me first, the one marrying into the Prince Su estate today would have been you. Ha ha ha. Ju Yue, do you think you're so special just because you're marrying into Prince Su's estate? Let me tell you, your heir already has a sweetheart. I can explain this matter. Shui Wugo is actually a man. The Shui family lied from the beginning and disguised him as a woman, and it has been like that ever since. Steady now, steady. Why did you suddenly lean in? I didn't move, the carriage hit a bump. The wind and snow have pressed upon me for 2 or 3 years. Combined, that makes 5 years. Losing face isn't what matters anymore. What matters is how we handle the aftermath of this. You ride the horse, and I shall walk and lead it. No, absolutely not. Princess consort, please get down. It is not right for you to be sitting up there while the prince is leading your horse. A woman should be considerate of her husband, but a bride leading the horse for the groom. That is simply improper. Oh my, the wedding etiquette is all in a mess. This will not do, it simply won't. Stop arguing, let's just ride together. No, no. 2 people on 1 horse. Think of how much that would hurt the poor creature. That is right, that is right. Poor horse. This horse weighs about 500 pounds. Buqi and I weigh 250 each. It is perfect. Hold on tight. Mother Prince Lu is getting married. We must prepare a generous wedding gift immediately and go to the prince's estate to offer our congratulations. You're just looking for an excuse to swindle money out of me for your opera singers, aren't you? Hiss. Mother, it's true. Didn't you see it? The prince was wearing such a huge red flower on his chest. If that isn't a wedding, then what is? Sigh. Are you sure that it is true? Absolutely, it's the truth. I swear on my life. Oh my goodness, even Prince Lu, that eternal iron tree, has finally bloomed. Which family's daughter is the bride? You wouldn't believe it. He charged through the gates of the Yue estate, right in front of all the guests, ripped the red silk flower right off the door, threw the girl over his shoulder, and ran off. Mother will surely think that she is a perfect, obedient little angel. That is what a real prince is like, helping the downtrodden, acting with righteousness. Look at him and learn. You really need to take some notes. That is not Buqi. He clearly caused nothing but trouble. How is that considered a noble deed? What do you know? When a handsome man does it, it is called a noble deed. It is only called causing trouble when you're ugly. You'd have to pay to hire a performer, but if the young prince just stood there, the performers would be paying him. No way, is this really true? Oh my god, quickly bring the best silk scarf. It needs to look decent here. Remember, don't bump into the carriage. Is everyone ready? Let's go. Head steward, take some people to greet the guests. Mother Li, go to the storehouse and get the silk. Prepare the wedding hall. Wang Chung, hurry to every restaurant in the city and order a feast. Yes. The main hall is ready. Hey, this is empty. Found it. Hurry and place an order at a large restaurant. Make sure it is hot. Don't dilly-dally. Go this way, no one is watching. Move these away too. Don't let them go to waste. They're for the guests anyway. Moving them over is perfectly fine. The wine is going to my head. I'm going outside to get some fresh air. Your Highness, to have such a rebellious son. Minister Qin, I've let you see something embarrassing. The young prince is just being true to himself. My own son is the real disgrace. Ha ha ha. Although his methods were unseemly, at least this brat is finally willing to settle down. Haha, at his age it is time he found some stability. Your Highness, a happy occasion is upon us. I am very happy for you as well. Come, let's toast to this. Why is this so empty? Completely devastated. What is going on? Ju Yue, tell me. It has nothing to do with them. I'm crying because I have no facial cleanser to use. That is why I'm crying. What kind of cleanser? It is something like the face cream you ladies use. But it works better than what you have. It's gentler and won't hurt the skin. Why? And now I have to share a bed with this strange man. It's so scary. Stop crying. If word gets out, people will think I'm bullying you. All right. My ancestor, please just stop crying, will you? Do you have the recipe for this face cleanser you mentioned? I'll make it for you. You'll really make it for me? I'll make it for you myself. Grind it finer. Add 2 more scoops of blatilla. Hurry. Yes, young master. Don't touch that plate. Right, put it in this wine and add a little water. I'll do it myself. Where is your wife's personal maid? The princess consort's maid is called Duidu. She has already gone to sleep. Her mistress hasn't even fallen asleep yet, and she's already asleep. Ahem. That girl is actually all right. Outside the Yue estate today, when everyone else ran, she was the only one who stayed by her mistress's side. For that loyalty alone, she is better than most people. As long as she is loyal, a few minor flaws are fine. This soft, warm touch. I don't want to be forgotten. Stop touching my waist. Why are you wrapping your arm around my waist? Green lotus leaves drift on the water. A male toad hugs the waist of a female toad. Are you trying to be a male toad? Why was I so bewitched? To snatch back such a troublesome thing? Being delicate and prone to crying is one thing, but male toad, what man could possibly handle this? Was he a soft gold powder sachet in his past life? After finishing his complaining, Buqi resigned himself to lying down on his small, pitiful patch of territory. What use are you? I told you to get married. You just had to follow the proper steps, but you just had to pull these stunts. And now look at this mess. A perfectly good wedding, completely ruined. You've made the Yue family the laughingstock of the entire capital. Are you satisfied now? It's my fault, mother. I am nothing but a failure. I've let down all the hard work you put into raising me. Have you given this any thought? What are we going to do about the prince consort? You promised the prince consort earlier that you would deliver Ju Yue to him, but now Buqi has stepped in and snatched away that Ju girl. If the prince consort decides to hold us accountable, not only will your chances of inheriting the title vanish, but we might even invite further disaster. The emperor is stalling on the decree. There cannot be a single mistake regarding this title. The Yue family is counting on this title, so they plan to send me to the prince consort of Qinghe. It's essentially making me his mistress, just to climb the social ladder. You knew how important this wedding was. Why would you leave her waiting for so long? You have truly disappointed me. What's done is done. Regret is useless at this point. I will figure something out. Get up now. Yanner is still waiting for you in the bridal chamber. You are injured, so don't consummate the marriage tonight. Wait until you've recovered. Yanner is a sensible girl, and she won't blame you. I understand, mother. You look so pale. You must have had too much to drink. Cousin. Let's not consummate the marriage. But if we don't, how will you face others tomorrow, cousin? Am I so helpless that I can't even protect her? Ah. At the break of dawn, Ju Yue wakes up facing the unfamiliar surroundings. It takes her a moment to remember. that she has traveled back to ancient times. I've time traveled, divorce and remarry, and forced him to make face wash for me. To restore it to its previous state. I have to train until I drop. I am determined to live beautifully. Little brother. Did you carve this yourself? No, I didn't. I bought it. Thank you. I really like it. It is just a pair of pomegranates. Why would you like them so much? Does your brother have a practice room? What are you planning to do to my brother's practice room? What do you think I could do? Of course, trample upon its dignity, torment its body, destroy its self-esteem, obliterate its will, and completely shatter its pride. You. Why must one be so vicious? Ha ha ha. Cough, cough. I'm just joking. Has anyone ever told you that your voice is lovely? It is as clear and crisp as a mountain spring. My voice is lovely. Of course, you must be a great singer. I will teach you a song. Will you sing it for me once you've learned it? I'll be going now. Is the heir not awake yet? The heir is not yet awake. I have prepared hot water for you. Please go to the washroom to freshen up, my lady. She is the maid the original owner trusted most. She must have realized I'm no longer the original young mistress. The water is ready, young mistress, time to bathe. Do you feel that I'm different from before? You are the master. You don't need to explain anything you do to a servant. Do you really not see a change in me? Everyone has their secrets. With secrets, there will be changes. Sooner or later, changes are inevitable. There is nothing strange about it. So in that case, you have your secrets too. I'm telling you, I am the granddaughter of the current emperor. Do you believe me, my lady? I believe you. I believe you. I believe you. How could I not believe you? Did they succeed over there? How about cheer? It is no good. My lady, please hang in there. It seems our young master. It's not just a matter of, it is no good. What on earth happened? Can you just finish the story all at once? You're killing me with suspense. This morning, the princess consort went to the practice room early to train, stretching her legs, opening her back, moving with ease. But our young master couldn't even get out of bed. He didn't go to practice at all. The daughter-in-law is energetic and lively, but the son can't even get out of bed. You've got to be kidding me. Go tell the kitchen to stew some supplements for cheer. Make them very potent. Yes, your highness. My son's martial arts skills are so good. How is he just a hollow shell of a man? Oh well, my heart that's been hanging can finally rest easy. Cheer, drink this. More rice. Your highnesses, people have arrived from the palace. An imperial decree from the emperor summoning the prince and princess consort of Su along with their son, Buqi, and his wife, Madame Ju, to enter the palace immediately to see the emperor. This is actually good. Don't be afraid, just stay close to mother. Yes. Ju Yue, the makeup on your face is so pretty. My lady, your hands are truly skillful. The makeup looks so natural, like it's barely there. It's beautiful. My lady, could you teach me? I'm so clumsy. I'm truly afraid that one day our lady will find someone more skillful and won't want me anymore. Mother, if I may be so bold, may I apply your makeup for you? I humbly ask for your permission, mother. Haha, granted. Your skin is delicate and firm. Your face shape is a bit square and your contours aren't quite smooth. Your features are a bit too spread out. It makes you look gentle, but it lacks refinement. Don't rush. We've only just begun. The sweat glands here. You need to sweep from behind the ear down to the jawline. Use a light touch. Yes. So beautiful. It is truly magical. You're just too amazing. It is just a pity. The variety of cosmetics I have on hand still isn't quite complete. There is no small angled brush. No small angled brush. Don't worry. My little tyrant can make one. This wife of mine is a real catch. Damn it. Ju Yue, I'm sorry. Did you bump into anything? Your head, your nose. Does it hurt? Are you all right? There were no bad words in this world at first, but now there are. In my gut. In my eyes. Ju Yue, I was wrong. I didn't mean to. It is all my own clumsy hands' fault. When we go back, I'll make the cosmetics you want. I'll make you a whole set. How about that? The lady's personal maid Nurswa is here. I must collect your modesty cloth and give it to her. Oh my. Congratulations, young mistress. I shall go report the good news to the old mistress now. From this moment on, my cousin belongs entirely and solely to me. Cousin, are you still thinking about Ju Yue? Are you ready? It is time for us to go serve tea. All right, it is a good thing I'm familiar with everyone in the Yun family. Too bad that glorious moment only happened in my imagination. It is gone. Cousin, did brother beat you last night? I heard you crying out. Big brother, cousin has just married into our family. You really should treat her better. How could you bully her like that? My dear lady. You're still young, you don't understand. That isn't called bullying. How is it not bullying? I heard it very clearly. Brother was hitting her so hard. The sound was so loud. Duo, tell me properly. Besides saying it hurt, what else did your cousin say? That is enough. Duo, come here. Yun duo, be quiet. Yener. The most important virtue for a woman is to be chaste and quiet. Since you have married into the Yun family, you must abide by the Yun family's rules. Aunt, I didn't. How many times has your aunt taught you? You must be mindful of the occasion when you speak and act. Are you certain you want to discuss your private bedroom affairs here? Mother. You must teach her properly as you should. You shouldn't indulge her reckless behavior. How dare you be so rebellious and unfilial? While I was certainly at fault for what happened yesterday, isn't mother at fault at all? You hide inside the manor and stay out of sight. But once it is over, you just blame me for being useless. It is truly unfair. And as for what just happened, it was clearly Yun Duo's fault. Yet mother still finds a way to blame Yanner. It is simply an inability to tell right from wrong. You are the eldest son and heir of this marquisate. Your words and deeds should follow proper conduct. She is the one I chose. Why is mother being so harsh? Feiyang. Stop it. Do you hear that? Even she is too afraid to speak because of you. Cousin, please stop. It's all my fault. Someone has to set the rules. You will stand right there and serve everyone breakfast. Pour the tea. I have Lady Yu Xinjiang's dance class today. I cannot be late. I heard Lady Yu Xinjiang even said it publicly that our duo is her favorite student. Duo's selection is basically guaranteed. That's only thanks to everyone's support. This was specially prepared by the madam for the young master. Drink it to nourish your body. Mother, I am in excellent health. There is no need for special care. You are my own son. Whether you are truly healthy or not, do you really think your mother wouldn't know? Drink it. You need to be nourished. I must maintain a reputation for virtue and gentleness. Husband, you shouldn't disappoint mother's kind intentions. Just drink it. Fine. An imperial decree from His Majesty. The Yun family is summoned to the palace immediately. My lady, I fear you are not strong enough for this. Perhaps we should skip the visit to the palace? No, the emperor has summoned us. To not go is to defy the decree. Ju Yue must go. I absolutely cannot lose. Once the Yun family is inside. After entering the palace, we must pay our respects to the Liu family. The Yun family pays respects to the Princess of Su. Greetings to the young master and his wife. That is impossible. Cousin is not that shallow of a person. So what if Ju Yue is beautiful? He won't be fooled by outer appearances. I must have been blind back then. I should go strike the appeal drum and put on a bloody spectacle for all of the capital. At that moment, I admit my heart skipped a beat. Stay by my side. Do not step away. Yen, what is the matter? Are you all right? Try to bear with it. After we return, your cousin will massage it for you. No matter how beautiful she may be, I can still easily capture my cousin's heart. Why are you looking at Bai Yanling? Is she better looking than me? Your Highness, pardon an old woman for overstepping, but it is not a good habit for a prince to focus so heavily on appearances. You know that inner beauty is what truly counts. No matter how gorgeous the exterior, if it is empty within, it remains nothing more than a flowery pillow stuffed with grass. Wouldn't you agree, Your Highness? I recall that at the Marchioness's birthday last year, a large birthday peach was made. It was placed right in the center of the main hall, so every guest saw it upon entering. That peach was painted a bright rosy pink. I dare ask you, Lady Yun, if appearances are not to be pursued, why bother coloring the birthday peach at all? You could have just brought out the plain dough, and since the celebration was underway, inner beauty would have sufficed, without worrying about how it looked. Don't you agree, my lady? Ha ha ha. All right. Let us be off, it is getting late. As subjects, we must not keep His Majesty waiting. Could everything I have firmly believed in be wrong? Which one is my dear girl? Come up here and let me see you. Is he going to hold me accountable for forcing him? Don't be afraid, I am here. Go. Your subject, Ju Yue, pays her respects to His Majesty the Emperor. She is indeed a striking child. Yesterday, in my haste, I spoke out of turn. It was not my intention to offend Your Majesty. I beg for the Emperor's forgiveness. I have heard about what happened yesterday. The Yun family's conduct was indeed inappropriate. You truly were wronged. But I don't understand. Since you were wronged, why didn't you go back and ask Ju Qiantai to stand up for you? Do you not hate your father? Your subject does not blame my father. I only blame myself. I only hate that I am not strong enough. If I were strong enough, No one would ever dare to bully me. How so? Your Highness, please use this. Ahem, ahem. Your Majesty, I apologize for losing my composure just now. It is all her fault. Oh, what happened? She is angry that I abducted her. Last night was our wedding night, and she wouldn't let me touch her. Why is that? Could it be that she is still thinking of her previous engagement? Your Majesty, my son's actions were truly improper. I would like to ask Yuan Niang a question directly. Yuan Niang, today, in front of the emperor, tell your mother-in-law, are you willing to marry my son? If you are unwilling, I will not force you. I will adopt you as my goddaughter and see you married off with great honor. Tell me, are you willing to marry him? That Lu Buqi is a rascal. Speak boldly. If you don't want to, I will decide for you. Your Majesty, Ju Yue is my wife. My lawfully wedded wife with all the proper rights. It was Lu Buqi who unreasonably snatched her away. Yesterday I was momentarily possessed by greed and did a wrong thing. Now I know I was wrong. I beg your Majesty to return Ju Yue to me. Is this Yun Feiyang sick in the head? Oh. Miss Ju, speak for yourself. Who do you want to marry? I don't want to marry either of them. I have no choice in this at all. Your humble subject will leave the decision to your Majesty. What do you have to say? Your humble subject has a way to increase the birth rate in the capital. I beg your Majesty to grant an imperial marriage decree for me and Ju Yue. A low birth rate is a problem that even modern times couldn't solve. Can he really do it? Really? Young man, when will we see results? 30 years or 50? 3 months at most. How can you see results in 3 months? People aren't kittens or puppies, you know. Your Majesty, you may check the medical records of every clinic in the capital now. I guarantee the number of pregnancies will exceed current records by 20%. Ha ha ha. Regarding the marriage to Ju Yue, the eldest daughter of the Ju Yue family, since it is already an established fact, it would damage Miss Ju's reputation if she were to remarry. Ju Yue shall remain with the Lu family. Prince Su and the princess consort have failed to discipline their son, allowing him to forcibly abduct a bride, setting a poor example. They should be punished. They are fined 6 months' salary to compensate the estate of the Marquis of Yunyang. This is my decree. Thank you, Your Majesty, for your immense grace. By the way, Buqi, weren't you and that young girl from the Shui family getting along quite well? Childhood sweethearts, growing up together. I had assumed that the position of princess consort would be reserved for the 7th daughter of the Shui family. Now that you've snatched away the daughter of the Ju family, how will you explain it to the 7th daughter of the Shui family? Ha ha ha. In reply to your Majesty, your humble subject can tell the difference. My affection for the 7th daughter is that of a brother for a sister, but Yue is different. Oh, how is she different? I admire her fearless, indomitable spirit. That spirit that would risk everything, the guts to drag the emperor off his throne. It is truly fascinating. But as for the wedding night, never mind, best not to mention it. She is truly a woman of both talent and virtue. You have a good eye, kid. What will my cousin think of me? Will he regret it? Cousin. Young master, madam, this is terrible. Something has happened to the 2nd young master at the academy. They only let me come back to ask for help. From what I vaguely heard, the 2nd young master is accused of throwing his weight around. Young master, madam. It is said that the teacher who instructs our 2nd young master is surnamed Yun. He is none other than the father of that new lady of the Yun family, Bai Yanling's father. Exactly. Lu Yi suffers from social anxiety. He avoids people whenever he can. How could he possibly bully his classmates? It makes no sense. You may go. Not yet. Take a nap first, little master. Did you teach Lu Yi to sing? I don't care. You sang for him. You must sing one for me too. All right then. You were a beauty born to grace, but alas, silence befalls. What is going on here? Oh my heavens. Open your eyes and look. They have power and status. So they just bully us poor, common folk. The young one bullies my son, and the older one bullies an old woman like me. If you don't give me an explanation today, I will take my whole family to the prince's manor to demand justice. Just because you are royalty, does that mean you can bully others? This is clearly giving us poor people no way to live. Even if I have to risk my life, I will not let this matter rest. Mother, please say no more. Are we poor people just destined to be bullied? We must accept our fate. This matter today must be properly resolved. Otherwise, if student Zhang is bullied today, the next ones to be bullied will be you and me. That is right. It's one thing to throw your weight around outside, but this is an academy. We cannot allow students with such poor character to act recklessly. Expel him. He must be expelled. Regardless of your status outside, once you enter this academy and pay respects to the sage Confucius, everyone is equal as a student. Our academy will never tolerate bullying of the weak. That is right. If this isn't handled well today, we will go outside and hold a protest. A protest. The princess consort before us. Didn't she intend to beat the appeal drum yesterday? We'll go beat it ourselves today. Could it be that we dignified men are no match for a mere woman? Ha ha ha. Your Highness, look. This situation, it has become such a mess. What should we do? Peel all the arrows off, juice them, and drink it all in one gulp. It couldn't be more refreshing. Oh, so the prince's son is fighting us over such a small thing? This is mine. Ouch, ouch, my back. Your Highness, Princess Consort. The prince's estate isn't short on money, is it? That is right. That is right. I am puzzled why building trust is so difficult. Has a prominent background become a barrier to communication? But that will not shake my resolve. However, this is an academy, not a place where brute force solves problems. This pomegranate is mine. He tried to grab it from me. His foot slipped. He fell on his own. I did not push him, let alone bully him. He is framing me. Is this yours? Don't worry. Your sister-in-law is here. It will be fine soon. It won't help to bring anyone here, since the incident has already occurred. This account must be settled clearly today. He claims I took his pomegranate. Who saw it? He also claims we had past grievances. Who can testify to that? Everything is unsubstantiated anyway, but I have clear evidence here. Everyone can clearly see it. I insist that Lu Yi pushed me. So what? The Lu family will just have to accept their bad luck. Pay a lot of money. Ha 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 ha. Humph. Taking a fall. That doesn't look like a fall. What are you trying to do? Let me tell you. We barefoot folks aren't afraid of you people in shoes. Don't even think about using your influence to force us to submit. This is an academy, after all. We scholars value integrity above all else. The master said, wealth and rank cannot corrupt, and force cannot subdue. Brother, your arm doesn't look right. It looks like you've injured a tendon or bone. It needs to be treated immediately. Otherwise, if this injury becomes permanent, it will be very troublesome. I also think it might be fractured. Some things are more urgent than others. The matter of compensation can be discussed later, but your injury cannot be delayed any further. Brother, you've injured your right arm. If it is truly ruined, not to mention writing or studying, you won't even be able to take care of yourself. Your whole life will be ruined. Brother Bai, you are a good man. Your aunt believes in you. Please take my Jinfu to the clinic to see a doctor. Please take him, help him get checked out. Until this matter is settled, no one is allowed to leave. Your Highness, how could you be like this? He is still just a child. Can you not even tolerate a child? He slandered my own younger brother. Do you think I would allow him to just come and go whenever he pleases? He wants to leave for treatment, not a chance. Look at the state he is in. Can you show a little compassion? My arm. There, don't talk. Save your strength. Look at what a fine child he is. Neither riches nor honors can corrupt him, nor can force or threats bend him. We cannot let him be wronged until this is made clear. Nobody is leaving. Ah, it hurts. Help me, AAA. Stop hitting me. I admit it. I snatched Lu Yi's pomegranate. It was my fault. And my hand, I fell and hurt it myself. Oh, poor thing, while trying to discipline that little brat just now. You must have hurt your hand, didn't you? Son, tell me the truth. Did they just intimidate you? Mother, please stop. It was my own fault. I have been bullying Lu Yi all along. I'm always grabbing his things. This time when he wouldn't give it to me, I got angry. My hand, I fell and hurt it accidentally. It has nothing to do with Lu Yi. You must take responsibility for what you've said. I'm wrong. So that is how it is. The princess consort kept claiming she was doing this for the sake of student Zhang Jinfu. But in reality, she was being completely hypocritical. You even kept tugging at Zhang Jinfu's injury, deliberately trying to leave him crippled. Is this your so-called benevolence? You were doing just fine. Why did you have to go and provoke him?